Kooth is one of the UK's largest digital mental health platforms. Our service is freely available through the NHS to over 7.5 million people across the country. And as you might imagine, in the last year and a half, we've really been there to support the nation and step up to support the mental health of the population. So it's been both an enriching role for us in the last 12 to 18 months, but also as a commercial venture, one where we've really been scaling the business. Well, look, at the start of last year, we were 170 people. We're 350 now. We're around 11 million in revenue. We're around 15.9 now. It was a huge year for us. And of course, last year, we also took the company public on the AIM on London Stock Exchange, which gave us additional fuel and funding to grow the business further. Growth can really only happen sustainably with really strong foundations. So what you're seeing in 2020 was reflective of the work that we did in 2019, right? From a technology perspective, from building a bench of our leadership team, really and strengthening the whole organization. And working with ScaleUp over the last few years, that built professionalizing the organization, building the bench of executives, meant that we could then scale the business, which is very much a people business, although we're a technology business, to really continue to meet demand. And the great thing is those foundations pay off. Great leaders bring great teams in. So you get this virtuous cycle of really creating high-performing company cultures. And that's, I would probably say, the big thing. Of course, I'll take credit for all the success we had last year. But I think really the key to all these things are building a business with strong foundations. And obviously the investment that ScaleUp had put into Kooth over the previous few years had given it the ability to invest, to professionalize, to really start to deliver the kind of service that we'd envisioned. So, well, really working with ScaleUp, their view is to find really these diamonds in the rough. There is this gap between private equity, venture capital, and sort of angel investing. Like a lot of great companies that might not be hyper growth, as in like 2,000 to 3,000% growth a year, but they kind of missed from the market. So really what ScaleUp did, a few years back is identify Kooth as a real diamond in the rough, invest in it there. And, but, the journey continues. They're a small firm, their pockets go so far. They've got a successful playbook that they demonstrate with Keystone Law, where they took them public, supported them through the long haul of like post-life as a public company. And then over time, over several years, you slowly sell down your holding in there. So they benefit from the continued growth. They benefit from the investment that goes into that. We all benefit from basically becoming a public company. Probably taking it out on the road, there are probably three things that really resonated, that all the investors were looking for. It's not just about whether you're a big enough company today, but it's whether you're serving a big enough market. Are you in here for the long haul to grow? And of course, mental health is one of the biggest challenges of our time. 1 in 4 of the population has a need every year for support. It's an area where digital can play a huge role given the underinvestment that there's been in mental health for decades. So the first one is really, are you working on a big enough problem? 2 is, are you in a great starting point? Now, our partnership with the NHS going back over 15 years has really established us as a close partner to the NHS and really built a really strong badge of trust and clinical prowess in what we're doing. And the third one was really, we benefited from the fact that we are not the first company that ScaleUp had taken public. And so by showing really the trajectory of Keystone Law was a good proof point that it's been brought to you from the same stable that bought you Keystone and now has bought you Kooth. In terms of recruitment, like my previous experiences have been very much scaling up through venture capital, right? Where you bring people on the promise of incredible journey, an incredible stressful one. And but as a company, you're quite opaque about that, right? No one knows what their sheet of paper in terms of options is really worth or anything. Well, I've got to say, as a public company, a few really good benefits. One, the governance about the organization, everything's publicly visible about what we do. we are a real company that trades on a real stock market as well. And in doing that, we can give everyone in the business a piece in the ownership of the company. All of our employees got stock ownership plans as part of this, so that everyone can be a beneficiary in this. And I think, for employees, they got a decision of, do you want to work on you can join a startup route, which will be a binary outcome, which will be it'll die or it might grow, or you can join a company that's got a track record. You can see how the company's progress is every day, and you can take a share in the ownership of it. So I think it's brought us all together in the business as a way to to all cheer our success together as we grow and as we support the nation. We're in a competitive market. There is, despite COVID, there is, because of this transformation to digital, there is a talent war ongoing around about how we can find the best people to hire. But bear in mind, we are also a clinical service as well. And we are a people service. We have over 200 counsellors as part of that. So to really answer that, we've got to look across all those three dimensions. For counsellors, we're a digital service. We're a really convenient, interesting place for them to be versus running a face-to-face practice. For clinical, where psychologists, people in that trained clinicians, it's all about reach and impact that you can have. As a digital service, we can have a huge reach and a huge impact. And we're often hiring people from the NHS, so we are seen as a interesting career change for people there, or from charities. For tech, we're hiring data scientists. We're focused on AI, and look, we can't compete with the salaries that Facebook and Google touting out there for talent. But where we can compete is purpose. Right? If you want to work on a worthwhile mission as a data scientist, instead of getting people to click on ads, why not actually get them to support and improve their mental health? So that's how we really are competing for talent, through our purpose. The one thing about our purpose is it's the one thing, along with our values, that binds all of us. We're all here for the same objective. And I think the way that Kooth has designed its business model and the way that we sell to our customers is completely aligned around incentivizing to support people, to build their resilience, so that we're not, trying to keep them within the service, keep them engaged. We're here for as long as they need us. I mean, I think really how it manifests itself is that we've got an incredible amount of expertise in the business. Every one of our practitioners is a professional. Many are going on their PhDs in specialist areas around mental health. And I think we've just got this cooking pot of incredible ideas and world expertise. And part of my job as CEO is trying to pick that out and connect dots across the business so that we can really bring that talent together to help us build a better product and service for our users. I mean, all of us have we've joined because we've all got a passion for mental health, either people that have got lived experience or family experience, or just, in my own case, having worked for 30 years in the world of tech and software as a service, and drawing a convoluted line between what you do and the impact it has in the world. I'm at an age now where I want to start looking at my legacy, and I want to think of what I want to be remembered for. And a lot of it will be around the impact that you've had, not just the achievement that you've had, but the purpose that you've had. And, as I've learned with age, there's always more that could be achieved, right? You can continually be on that cycle, but actually purpose is really fulfilling. And that's really what our whole leadership team is here for. And our ambition is huge, though, to deliver a worldwide service that can make effective, welcoming mental health care available to everyone. So we can still have a huge world-changing ambition. Obviously, going public allows us to raise capital to get there. And then the key thing is getting the right passionate people with the right intents and intentions behind all of that and concentrating their efforts to push us along that journey. It's a sort of, I'm going to call it a lazy meme to say that commercial businesses can't do good. I mean, for that effect, that means that everyone as a public company has to be focused on evil, like destroying the planet. There's been a huge shift in the last few years. BlackRock, one of the world's largest asset managers, sent a famous letter from their CEO saying that every single organization needs to not just focus on how they create shareholder return, but what their purpose and focus is that betters society. So what better way to do that than have a company designed to actually better society? And the question about the commercial side then simply becomes, we're in a competitive space. Do we offer great value? The world forecast is that by 2030, mental health is a $30 trillion problem globally. In the UK alone, it's the business impact is £45 billion a year. So the UK's got a great track record in mental health, seen as a market leader. Clearly, Kooth has been a leader in really supporting this digital transformation. So our goal and ambition now is to start to export what we've done to new markets. The Department of Industry and Trade, for example, is a fantastic champion for us. They recognized us as one of the top 100 digital health companies recently. And so what we're focused on right now is how we can bring our digital mental health service to new international markets, but not making this a wholesome game, meaning that we partner with local healthcare providers as opposed to displace them, just like we do in the UK with the NHS. And we think there's a really interesting trajectory there to take this into every country globally by working with local partners that can operate it in their region, understand the local and cultural differences. And we are just on the very precipice of that journey right now. We're doing our first international pilot. We'll be announcing it when it's live, but that's the game plan, is to take our software as a service platform into new markets. The NHS is a beloved brand. And as I say, as a trailblazer in especially whole population healthcare, of which we are, a key part to that solution for mental health. And so it's been a great calling card to be trusted and entrusted to support 7.5 million people across the UK. Really demonstrates the level of partnership and the level of clinical prowess in what we've got, in a way that I must say is a great alternative to, a VC funded team rolling in where you've got founders from Uber and Google, right? That we've been on this for the long haul. We've been doing this for 20 years already. So I think that sort of trust, the fact that we're proven, the longevity that we've had is a great calling card when we go into new markets.